Throughout all of history, the pearl has been passionately sought after by kings and queens, emperors and maharajas. So scarce were natural pearls, they were more highly prized than gold. And unlike other precious gems, they required no cutting or polishing. Nature delivered them complete and perfect. And at the prestige end of the market, it's the big South Sea pearls from Australia and Tahiti that command dazzling prices in the world's largest retail pearl market.
Like it or not, New York is still the center of the business and fashion world, and the center of New York is Fifth Avenue, which is why my original Christopher Walling showroom is on Fifth Avenue at Rockefeller Center, and the first store that I chose to be in is Bergdorf Goodman, also on Fifth Avenue. As we go down Fifth Avenue and see the stores in which people in the 50s were buying diamond necklaces, they reveal one of the biggest changes in fashion as it pertains to jewelry. A very significant part of the increased sophistication of the American customer and of American fashion has been an awareness of subtlety. Today, wearing a diamond necklace is a slap in the face by the woman who's wearing it of every woman who doesn't have one. On top of that, many women are actively involved in business these days and are not about to wear something so obviously valuable into the office. And there's nothing more subtle than the pearl. The interaction between a pearl and whatever dress a woman is wearing, between a pearl and the particular flesh tones of a woman, is the most perfect interaction of any gem with human beings. Pearls have been very good to me, and aside from that, one of the reasons that I love working with pearls so much is, as I mentioned, they're the perfect foil for any color. So that a color that might not normally work on a neck or an ear, when it's combined with a pearl, whether it's a round pearl or a baroque pearl or a white pearl or a black pearl, is the color aesthetic is softened and the scale becomes better as well, and it works in human terms.
Christopher Walling is a New York society jewelry designer. Some of the wealthiest people in the United States visit his exclusive Fifth Avenue salon.
That sounds pretty.
Great.
For many years, Walling's signature design employed the distinctive cross-shaped pearls from Japan's Lake Biwa. Formed in freshwater mussels, the Biwa pearls are induced by inserting mantle tissue alone. The shape of the tissue determines the shape of the pearl. Sadly, these gems are now virtually unobtainable, as environmental pollution contaminates the lake.
One of the things that I've pioneered is the use of inlaying precious stones in pearls. As you see in this necklace with a pink sapphire, the white pearl is the perfect foil for any color. And what I'm doing is taking my inspiration from Mughal Indian jewelry, except that instead of inlaying precious stones in jade, I'm inlaying precious stones in pearls. One of the reasons that I have a reputation for my work with pearls is that I use rare pearls from all over the world. This necklace that Alicia is wearing is a perfect example, and they're Kasamiga pearls, which are from a lake in Japan. They're a color and a size that has never existed before. This is a one-of-a-kind, and that's why it's $40,000. The rarity that you see that's evidenced in this piece consists of the 5 Mississippi River pink pearls and the 6 abalone pearls. This use of natural American gems is what made Tiffany famous in the 1870s and 80s when they were winning prizes in Paris and London. And unfortunately, they no longer follow this aesthetic. And now Alicia is wearing a collection of pearls which took 30 years to match. Old-time pearl dealers weep when they see pearls from Burma, which is what these are because they're so rare. And as a result, the necklace is worth $2.4 million. I think more, quite frankly, than many other jewelry designers, I've always had a foot not only in the world of painting and sculpture, but also in the tradition of jewelry. I'm much more aware of 18th century jewelry, 15th century jewelry, Egyptian jewelry, what have you. I've made a very concerted point of traveling to every museum in every part of the world to see what other cultures and other times have done with jewelry. I think that working with pearls allows me to feel like I'm very much a part of that continuum. What can I do that is an homage, a tribute to what's been done before, but perhaps, if I'm lucky, adds a bit of a new twist.
Walling's new designs employ both black and white Baroque South Sea cultured pearls. Fabulous pearls at fabulous prices.
When you see something like this, which is the most beautiful strand that's ever been produced of Baroque pearl, that Zen-like saying of the oyster through an experience of pain producing something of beauty becomes very, very real.
The cultured Baroques in Walling's current designs are still formed by inserting a round nucleus into the oyster. But sometimes, by a quirk of nature, an oyster will cast a bizarre shape instead of a perfect round. Either it secretes copious amounts of nacre which ooze around the bead, or the bead shifts within the animal's body, compressed and squeezed into fantastic forms.
One of the Marco Polo aspects of what I can bring my Aspen clients is something, for example, like a huge strand of black pearls, like the ones I'm holding in my hands, pearls the size of which they probably will not have been able to see anywhere else. But also, you have a necklace to my left of 800 carats of emeralds mixed with black pearls. The look of the luxury of an Indian Maharaja, but a color combination that they wouldn't have thought of. And by the same token, peridots and black pearls, or emeralds and pistachio-colored pearls. One of these flower pins has been picked by the American Museum of Natural History for their pearl show, which is going to be in the year 2001. When I talk about the interaction between pearls and human bodies, I had a wonderful validation around my thoughts about this when the Vermeer show was in Washington. And I discovered that Vermeer painted the pearls that he painted on all of his women by using one of the two layers that he normally used for flesh, not painting the second layer, and just putting a highlight in the middle of the circle that he'd left of flesh, which turns it visually, optically, into a pearl. And I think it's philosophically, that's a really perfect example of how pearls and flesh interact, how similar they are, how almost indivisible, how flattering, how warm.